What is up, guys and girls and Xenos and anybody else who's watching this video? It is the Sound Alchemist, and I'm here with the one, the only, the black-wearing
Gershwin.
And we're here to answer your questions in an episode of For the Greater
WAAAGH. Did you introduce yourself?
Yeah.
You said the Sound Alchemist? Okay.
Yeah, I said I'm here with Gershwin.
Oh yeah. This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, simply comment down below. Put question in front of your question because we get those questions first. And that is what Edgar Nagama did. And he says, would a revived Emperor support the Necron's plan to separate the warp from reality? Since the webway is separated from the warp, he would still find a way to connect mankind while eliminating their biggest threat. This would cripple the Eldar, the Orcs, and possibly affect the hive mind, leaving the Tau and Necrons as the only Xenos threats for man. So no, you can't close off the warp and then not have the webway. So in order for the Emperor, well, first, would the Emperor want to destroy the warp? I don't think so.
Yeah, I feel like even though it has like chaos and other warp entities in there, it is a very valuable resource. Because if you cut off the warp, you're essentially cutting off
psychic powers, astropaths,
faster than light travel.
Yeah, all that good stuff. And you could say, well, you can get the dolmen gates, but those use the warp.
Did they?
Yeah, they did.
Oh.
I think they're basically like webways, but only for a very short amount of time.
But you could only go from one dolmen gate to another.
Yeah, basically. So they're like black holes through the warp. The only other thing that, because you did mention the Necrons, the Emperor could make an allegiance or somehow get the technology that the Eldar use, or the Necrons use, because the Necrons use faster than light travel because they can bend the laws of physics. Their scientific minds are far more advanced than like any other race. But again, I think it's just easier to say, let's just continue with the war.
Yeah. I think that was the goal for the Catan, to cut off the warp from the galaxy, because they were fighting against users of the warp. So that's what the Pylons and Cadia were doing, and so yeah, I mean they got means to kind of shut off, but never went into effect.
Yeah.
Good question.
Yeah. Next one.
This one's by Blast Action. Have you guys played Warhammer 40K Freeblade? I believe that's the iOS game, or the app that you can pilot a knight or a titan, something like that.
No, I've never even heard of it. That sounds cool.
Yeah. No, I haven't played it.
Is it free?
I'm pretty sure.
I'll check it out. Next question comes from JC0214GAMS. Or JCA. Which Hive fleet... Sorry, which...
Go ahead.
Which Hive fleet is most likely to reach Terra?
All of them at once. No, probably the biggest one, which is what?
Behemoth?
Behemoth now?
Because Leviathan was destroyed.
Yeah. But yeah, this is the question for all questions. Jorge Pantoja asks.
We haven't heard from him in a while. Where you been at?
This is his comeback question. What would happen if a crew ate the Emperor's ass?
You have to wash his mouth.
Yeah. Floss?
Yeah.
Well, can you floss? Because they have a beak.
You can floss a beak. Because it's just like one or two big teeth.
Two big teeth. Yeah.
Oh no, you'd get like paper cuts right here.
Ooh.
Yeah. Next question comes from Blazed Duck. If all Primarchs were to fight in a deathmatch, 20-man cage fight, who would come out on top? This is his 69th attempt.
69.
That's the Emperor's favorite position.
Yeah.
So based on experience with 40K as a game and just like any competitive game, when there's like it's a free for all in a way, the one who doesn't stand out ends up winning. Yeah. So I'll give it to Lorgar.
Well, Lorgar is a beast now. Because I think when they were talking about battle plans on Horus's flagship, when all the other Primarchs came, left, Lorgar kind of put Horus in his place. He like pinned him against the wall, and he's like, "Don't you ever talk to me like that." Check out our 40 Facts on Lorgar. There's like 3 parts to it. I forget what part it's in, but yeah, he does stand up to Horus, and Horus is like, "Damn, like."
Chill out, man.
Yeah,
I was just joking.
It's just a game. Corey Schultz. Who gets more women? Ants Canada or Girth 1?
Ants Canada for sure.
Because he's got all these queens and workers, and he had termites in his latest video.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, there's termites.
Don't spoil it for me.
Termites.
Next question comes from American Psycho. Who does an individual orc freebooter associate with humans? Or how does an individual orc freebooter associate with humans whom he is currently working with? Just regular, who just talks to them. Because they talk in a way that's still understandable by humans. And then they just like negotiate, and you know, humans better be smarter than the orc, because the orc will attack them at the end.
You can just see an orc just randomly walking up. Hey, what up, fam? You got those teeth.
Yeah.
After good. 30-second time asking. And yes, I have proof. What is Gershwin's workout routine?
I do back and chest Monday. Tuesday is bicep and tricep. Wednesday is legs and shoulders. And then I repeat.
Non-stop.
Non-stop. All day. Every day. Next question comes from Super Mutant Something. What Warhammer 40K race does Ants Canada main?
It's gotta be Tiernans.
Yeah, he mains them. Next question.
Josh Morrow. How are the Black Templars able to grow in numbers? When the Imperial Fists were broken up into 3 chapters following the Codex Astartes, they were taken down to their codex number of 1,000. So wouldn't that mean that the current number would be around 3,000 to 6,000? How would they be able to grow in number? And not just that, how are they able to get enough equipment to serve their numbers? Thank you, and keep up the awesome work. So yeah, you got a good point. Because they did split up to be codex compliant, meaning at one point they did have 1,000 Space Marines in their chapter. But I guess over the years they just inducted more, what do they call it, initiates? No, what's their word? Yeah, initiates, right?
He's talking about Ultramarines, right?
No, Black Templars.
Oh, then
because you know how they have more in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how?
How?
Oh, they just require, or they get more recruits.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Give it to me now. Give it to me now. Yeah. Okay, Lord of Guards Lim says, what is the highest rank in Imperial hierarchy? The role of Gilliman.
Unless you see as the God Emperor. But
Yeah.
But Gilliman is. This one's by Scrotor, the Night Wiggler. So my homeboy Darnell and I are arguing. We need you to settle it. That's what he says. He says orc walls increase by huge amounts in transit because they pick up more orcs. I say it's because they farm new orcs on their ships. So what's correct?
Both. And you're correct. Well, so by transit you mean like not in the warp, because if you're in the warp, there's no way you can bring more orcs. Like orcs don't just appear from the warp. So when you exit the warp, and like when the rock exits and it starts going towards whatever planet it's going to destroy or conquer, it starts gathering like orcs from around the sector, and those orcs from the sector tell other orcs, and then it just becomes like an entire like everybody in the sector goes towards it, and even like orcs from other sectors come to battle. Like right now, the big battle is still Armageddon and
This is the Octavia.
the Octavius sector one. So like orcs from all over the galaxy are going for a good fight to those areas. But then at the same time, there's a bunch of orcs that are dying, and those orcs that are dying are like coming out of the closet. Cool. Speaking about closets, there's also another really good story of orcs in transit inside the warp. So they're actually in the warp and they get attacked by demons. There's a weird boy who, like, his head explodes and it becomes a portal and like demons start pouring out. And like the orcs that are on that ship, Space Hulk, start battling these demons, and like a bunch of them are dying and whatnot. Well, at the end of the transit, so once they actually get out of the warp, there's been so much death and destruction on both sides that the orc population has grown to the point where every single closet, every single cabinet, wherever you open it, there's orcs, Gretchens, and squigs, because they've just been populating so much because so many of them have been dying. So, you know, both those stories answer both questions, or say that both of those responses are correct. But yeah, can you imagine that? Opening up your cabinet doors and just seeing like a squig and Gretchen and stuff. It's like that Jumanji movie when the boy opens the door to the kitchen and the monkeys are all like playing around.
I was thinking of Gremlins, but yeah, that's the same thing.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Next question.
This one is by Michael Howell. What happens when Tiernans get put into the warp? I know they can't enter the warp on their own, but if they are sent or dragged in, can they come out? Yeah, it's a good question.
Yeah, I don't like a hive fleet. I think a hive fleet can come out, but I don't think like a regular just Tyrannid who gets sent to the warp can come out by himself. Because it's just like an animal. It's like if a dog got sucked into the warp, what would it do? Like, it would die. Right?
Yeah, I guess.
And then we talked about this in another Greater War episode. Like, if Hive Fleet enters the warp, it does get corrupted, usually by Nurgle. Mm-hmm. Last question. Do you have one?
This one's by Blaze Duck. If all Primarchs were to fight to death in a 20-man cage fight, who would come out on top?
Oh, we talked about this.
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you did. Yeah, I remember now.
I have one from... JJ. Do you think that the Dark Mechanicus is going to happen? Or is it just going to be a 30k thing? What's the newest unit y'all added to your armies? Thanks, guys. Okay, so is the Dark Mechanicum going to happen?
I hope.
Forge World already said that they're going to make their model rules compatible with 40k, right?
Mm-hmm. Although they kind of already have a lot of information based on 7th edition. So in order for them to transition to 8th edition, I feel like it might be better if they just... Well, I don't know. I was going to say it might be better if they wait until they're done with the Horus Heresy and then make it all 8th edition. But by then, it might be like 9th or 10th edition, so... Yeah. I do know they are making their Custodes, the Adeptus Custodes, into 8th edition rules. They do have, what's it called? Experimental rules for the Dreadnoughts, the Telemon Heavy Dreadnought, and I believe it's the Dreadnought with the Spear that they have out, so you can, use them in 40k games. But as far as I know, I think that's the only thing they're doing right now.
Yeah, maybe down the road they're gonna do Dark Mechanicus 40k compatible with the Forge World. And then what's the newest unit you all added to your armies?
So for the Infernal Sons, which is Chaos Space Marines, I got a unit of 20 Chaos Space Marines, just regular Marines. For the Tau, I think the last thing I got was some Fire Warriors.
Really?
Yeah, I think you got them for me, right?
Surprise. No, that was a long time ago, because I've been getting you suits for past birthdays.
Yeah, that's true. So it might have been suits. I haven't gotten anything for the Tau in a while.
For the Orcs, I haven't gotten anything either. I'm still trying to work on my flash kits that I started a year ago. But recently, I have... You're probably not going to be able to see this, but I have Tempestus Scions that I'm building for my Inquisitor army. They're kit bashed with the... Arcanaut Company,
which is Age of Sigmar. Mm-hmm. They're the dwarves.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. Check us out on Instagram. I might be posting pictures of these guys if you're interested. And those were the questions for today.
Thank you guys for sending all those questions our way. If we didn't get to your question today, please leave them in the comment sections and we'll get to them in future videos. Also, don't forget we do have a Patreon page. Like he said, we got a Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And we got a Grinder as well, so
hit us up.
Yeah.
That's it.
This is the Sound Alchemist.
Gershwin.
We're out of here.